Once you get this kind of setup, you've really got the game on lock, and you pretty much cannot be beat. It's really sweet. Any two here will be just fine. That's the deck. That's how it goes. Draw a bunch of cards, deal a bunch of damage, gain a bunch of life, lock out your opponent from playing spells. It's real cool. Real cool. Welcome back to another video. I'm Blake and you're you, and this is Azorius Control featuring Dream Trawler. So let's check out the deck here. We've got 4 copies of Dream Trawler. This card is an absolute bruiser. Comes down at 6 mana, 3/5, flying, lifelink. Whenever you draw a card, Dream Trawler gets +1/+0 till end of turn. So every turn it's already swinging in as a 4/5. Whenever it attacks, you also draw a card, so you're guaranteed to attack as a 5/5, draw you an extra card each turn. And then this is what makes it so brutal, is that at any time you can discard it, Dream Trawler gains hexproof until end of turn, and you tap it. And so when you're attacking, if it's already tapped, the tap is not a cost, so you can give it hexproof at any time for a simple discard. Now let's work our way down. We have 4 Elspeth Conquers Death is great removal, and we also can bring back Dream Trawlers from the graveyard at the end of it to Shatter the Skies in case we're getting aggroed out. The 3-drop slot, we're running 4 Thirst for Discovery and 4 Thirst for Meaning. Discarding a Dream Trawler to bring it back is pretty good, and drawing 3 for 3 is just a really good combo to get this up to 8 and sometimes 11 damage to finish off the game. 2 Midnight Clock is an interesting one. It can tap for a blue, and then this just sits here and goes late game. You can shuffle your entire hand in, you set it up, and you order the counter so that you do it on your turn, so that you're drawing 7 cards, triggering the Dream Trawler. It's the only wheel I could find. It's actually quite good in the deck. We also run 4 Brazen Borrowers for that tempo. The 2 mana ability can bounce stuff, and then a nice flyer. Running 2, you find the Villain's Lair for a little counterspell action, and you also can sometimes draw and discard when you need to. And then our counterspell package is 4 Absorb. This is a really good counterspell, gaining us that 3 life for countering any spell we want. There's no restrictions on it, and this is why we are Azorius. And then 4 Dovins Veto, also quite nice. 2 mana, can't be countered. And I actually am really big on this counterspell, Syncopate. It's a recently printed common, but if you're sitting there on 5 or 6 mana with nothing else to do, you can counter just about anything, and it also exiles it before it goes to the grave. And we're running, I believe, 24 lands, pretty basic land stack. I just have some Hallowed Fountains and some Pathways and 1 Temple. So that is the deck. Let's see what it can do. Jumping into a ranked game here, as long as I see 3 lands, I'm pretty much just going to keep. Maybe not an amazing start if we are playing against aggro. Everything's pretty slow. But hopefully we'll be alright. Okay. Let's at least make them think we might have something. Mono green. Okay, green white. Don't know what this deck is going to be. Modified creatures you control have trample. Whenever a modified creature control deals combat damage to a player, search your library for a basic land, put it onto the battlefield tap. Seems decent. I think we just counter that. Double strike seems bad, especially if he's going to be planning to put a bunch of counters on it. Just my guess. Maybe this is like probably some sort of +1/+1 counter deck. I guess my other option is I could have left it and shattered, which would have been probably the better play. Oops, I think that was a mistake. Yeah, that's real good. That's a very good card. Yeah, I'll discard that basic land card. Sure. I think this is fine. He'll swing in with this. As long as I don't play anything else, next turn we will conquer death. Well, especially since he's dropping on that. It's actually even better. Well, I guess he gets a draw. It's not really an extra 2 for 1. But, I mean, that was a pretty sweet play. Kodama's a pretty cool card. But, I think we just do this. Elspeth. And then if we get lucky, we even discard the Trawler somehow. I think we're doing alright. If he plays a big fat spell, we just clap down on another Elspeth. Oh yeah, we're fine. We even just do this. And now we're rolling. Once you get the Dream Trawler out, it is tough to take care of. You have to board wipe, especially with a whole hand like this. Interesting deck. I don't think the Warden is actually that good, but I guess it's good enough for what this guy's wanting. 2+1/+1 counters at sorcery speed for 3 mana doesn't seem good enough to be playing. Sorry, my friend. Don't think your deck's very good. Just because this is a play we can't make, we're gonna do it. Don't want him getting more counters on that thing. And we're just gonna put the clamps on. We can hit something with the Borrower if we need to. Yeah, we'll just do this. Make that miss. Bounce that. Probably just sealed the win with that. We're just getting a lot of value. We're going to start to draw a lot of cards. We got a bunch of counter spells. We're just sitting really nicely here. Yeah, there's just not too much he can do. If he finds, even if he finds some way to board wipe next turn, we just get the Trawler right back. So, really no problem with me. We'll just counter it just to really seal the deal. Put the clamps on. This deck is no joke. You got counter spells to win and just keep pinging down the damage with the Trawler, which pretty much cannot be moved. So we do this, we attack, we draw. I like to go ahead and thirst. We're gonna pump him up some more. We don't have a good discard, but we don't need the Shatter, and we don't really need more lands. And then you can get to 11 if you need. Getting to 11 doesn't really help us here. So we're just gonna hit once and make him beat us on the next turn, which I doubt he can do, especially with all these counter spells. This is the deck. It's pretty cool. Once you get this kind of setup, you've really got the game on lock, and you pretty much cannot be beat. It's really sweet. Any two here will be just fine. That's the deck. That's how it goes. Draw a bunch of cards, deal a bunch of damage, gain a bunch of life, lock out your opponent from playing spells. It's real cool. Real cool. Alright, jumping into another game. This is pretty good. Love seeing the Borrower in my early hands for those tempo plays. And we draw the Dream Trawler is great. So now we're just a matter of waiting. Hold on, my dog is barking. Going crazy, so I'm going to go check on this little guy. Right after I play this and pass. Okay, wedding announcement. Let's just counter because we can. Pretty much use the Dovins Veto just about any chance I get because it is situational. So when you have a decent looking target, I feel like you should go for it. It's an interesting card. I think it's fine. I may want to keep that. Let's get rid of one Pathway. I might even toss a Dream Trawler. I think I'll even toss a Dream Trawler, maybe. Yeah, seems good. Bring it back with the Elspeth. We can afford to do that. Leaves our Borrower up. Start putting our counters on the clock. Set up the end game. I think if we're lucky, he'll just tap out for a big threat, and then we just hit it with Elspeth. And even if not, next turn might still be good, depending on what he plays, to just Elspeth the wedding announcement. Let's see. That's fine. You know, if he doesn't really put out any threats, we just Elspeth the wedding announcement, and we're set up pretty well. Keep does have blue, so we could have a counterspell, which would be pretty bad. But we gotta see. I think we just go ahead and go for this. Even if he can counter it, we do have Shatter next turn, which would be good. I'm feeling a counterspell coming. Smell it. Sensing that counterspell coming. Maybe not. I feel like it's an obvious choice to just counter that if you've got it up, so. I think that was pretty good for us. Did blow up our clock, so that's a little sad. But that's okay.
I assist those humbled by the pursuit of knowledge. Quell
Okay.
your temper.
Fine. Fine, I think. I think the smart play is to just bounce the Planeswalker, because it's the only thing that's got a lot of value. If he plays Yorion, it's fine. We'll just Shatter, and if he plays Mu Yanling, then we just Veto. And either way, we're going to get... I guess if he plays Yorion, we're not going to Shatter, because we're going to have our Trawler back next turn, which will be really good. I think we're in a decent spot here. I think we're in a decent spot. Yorion pairs up poorly against our Trawler. As a 4/5, it can never kill it without any help. So, it's not bad. It's fine. That is quite fine. We'll go ahead and Thirst then. Probably don't need 2 Vetoes, and with the Trawler coming back, I probably don't need Shatter. Okay, now we're in a power position. We're doing all right. It's going to be really tough for them to deal with. We've got some counter spells, we've got some bounce. We're in a good spot. This is exactly the position the deck wants to get to. Draw 2, discard 2. I'm very tempted to counter that, but I think we just counter the real spells. I don't think it's a problem. Because I want to save Dovin's Veto for this Planeswalker. Oh, discarded both. That's really interesting. Don't know what they're going for then. They must have something specific in mind. It was very interesting. Maybe they're digging for their own Shatter or something like that. I'm not too sure. Okay. Now we get to draw some extra cards. That counter feels really nice. Gets us to 6 damage each turn. Pretty cool. Yeah, now we're just in a really good spot. You can have that. You can certainly have that. Mirror March. I love Mirror March. I want to build a deck around it. It's so cool. I don't know if it's good. It's cool. And that's what I'm here for. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got plenty of double spells. Yeah. We could want to play all 3 of these in some scenarios. So we'll go ahead and get ourselves a 7th land. 3, 2, 2. So, give ourselves the option, just in case they have some insane turn. Just dealing 2 to our face and drawing 2, I will let him loot all he wants. So, a card like this, you feel like you're getting up a card, but you're actually going -1. Because you're using this card, so you're -1. You draw 2, so you're +1. But then you discard 2, so you're back to -1. So, a card like Prismari Command still is okay because it has so many modes, but even the same thing with Faithful Mending. Now, Faithful Mending, getting to flash it back kind of breaks the rule and makes it even better, so it's pretty good. But Fable, awesome card, obviously, and you can't let that resolve. It's too good. too good. You can just keep mending to your heart's content, though. Do not have a problem with the mending. Not afraid of it. Not one bit. What else we got in there? Yeah, Yorion decks are just built weird. Because you have to build your deck so big. So I don't know what he's looking for. We'll just go ahead and flash this in. He's tapped out. We're going to be swinging in for a good chunk of damage next turn. I'm feeling quite good about this one. This is looking quite nice. Yes. I will... I'm going to do this now. Get the extra damage and the extra life gain. Yes, I will discard a basic land. I think that was worth it. Get this up to 9. Really good. We got 4 mana up still. It's pretty darn good. I think we're doing alright. Yep. This is the kind of spell we're ready to counter for real. That must have been what they were looking for. And that's what the deck can do. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this video. I hope you enjoyed this Azorius Explorer gameplay. And I hope you have a good day. See you later.